This weekend I taught myself how to knit with double-pointed needles. Double-pointed needles, you knit with 5 of them to get a tubular structure like this to make socks, although this one's a little small for a sock. It's kind of just a little practice piece. But you've got your working needle and you've got your 4 needles in there. And just kind of untangle this guy here from the other needles. And to start, hold it like so. Get your 2 working needles. And you want to make sure that first knit you take on each side is pretty tight so that you don't have lines running up and down the sides of your sock. And you just keep going like so. Knit, knit, knit. Now if I wanted to create a ribbing, I would of course do a knit, purl, knit. But I'm just playing around with making this fun little tubular creation here. Get to the end, I like to pull the needle all the way through so that none of my stitches are going to slip off either side. And then you just turn it. Take the needle, turn it, and go on to your next needle like so. Enter your working needle and knit. Make sure that one's tight. Knit, knit. Now the yarn I'm using is specially made for sock knitting. It is a thinner strand than sport weight, and as you can see, it's self-striping, meaning I'm not changing yarn every time a new stripe appears. It's just that the yarn changes color as I knit. Once I make an actual sock with this, my stripes are going to be a lot thinner because this size that I'm working on right now is about half as big as my sock is going to be. But as I said, this is just for practice and actually to measure my gauge, because you want to measure your gauge in the round, because your gauge is going to be different if you're just knitting and then purling and knitting and purling as you would on a flat piece. Since this is a circular piece, your gauge might be different, so I'm going to use this to measure my gauge.